Following last night's Twitch stream, I think that left a lot of people with more questions than answers. Although we did get some major reveals, we did get the tease of what we believe to be a date, which we think is June something 24. That's the way Americans write their date, the month goes first. The belief is that you basically take the first letter of every single one of the coordinate city names that they gave you during the actual Twitch stream, and you get the patron saint of travellers with his feast day being the 17th of June. So maybe we can fill in that blank. But we did get a lovely QR code tonight, and I say lovely, I mean an absolutely atrociously stacked QR code on SmackDown tonight. I love that it dropped, by the way, like seemingly when the fireflies were out when the lights were off. I thought that was really cool. But this QR code would take you to a WWE.com webpage and, well, just take a little look at how much freaking stuff is on this page. Ready? Let's scroll. There is absolutely loads. Look at this. Oh my gosh. The URL for this page is wwe.com/archive-recovered. There is a button on the top right, and that button will actually, if you click it, will play you what sounds like the Nightbird song, but a piano version. Lots of distortion and stuff in it. Very cool. At the top of the page, it says restored from backup, #CNMN167. Now, I wonder if that's a reference to Conman167. Conman, obviously the go-to place for WWE live streams on YouTube. And not only that, he was live obviously last night and before with the Twitch and the WhatsApp stuff. So maybe he said something they paid attention to. When you click all the links, though, you get all this text. Again, I'm not going to read it to you guys. This video would be like half an hour long. But that was number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. This was number 4. Nice and short and sweet. Something about finding his journal. We then had 10 pages of handwritten notes, each one an image showing you a different note. Some of them, though, are really interesting. Take the one on the left here. That's where he lives. Who lives? What, someone lives in a black hole or something? But it definitely gets even stranger because the person writing the notes thinks he's writing this. Now, come on, experts. I know you can decrypt anything. Whose face is that? How are we meant to guess that? The final one, though, now I wonder if he is me or if that's what he wants me to think. That's interesting. It plays off of the whole psychological aspect of what we've been talking about with this character for ages. I am nobody, I am all of us was the next link, followed by I am with a huge paragraph of text. The next one, though, this is the one that's definitely captured people's thoughts and imaginations. Sometimes you have to hurt people to heal people. Sometimes that person is yourself. Now I understand. Now I see. Hurt, heal. Certainly a reference to The Fiend. Obviously, he had the hurt and heal gloves. Is this a reference, though, to something we never got answers to with the hurt and heal? Was Bray always hurting himself to therefore heal himself later on? Then we seemingly got some stuff that seems to reference Bray in a lot of ways. Truth, the chosen one born to set them free. There was no monster, it was always me. The prodigal son, obviously wondering about if that references like Luke Harper or Eric Rowan or Braun Strowman, perhaps, from the original Wyatt family. Unveiled, do not lie to me, do not lie to yourself. We've worn our masks long enough, brother. Revel in what you are. Bray to Bo, potentially, to recruit him as Howdy. We then got one called She, but this was really interesting because notice every she and her are capitalized, much like it would be for The Fiend and him. Now, this makes me believe that this note is all about Alexa Bliss. Obviously, Alexa was basically the equal with The Fiend. So if that's the case, she and her could be a reference to Alexa. Owari, which is obviously Japanese for the end. There is sacredness in tears. They are not the mark of weakness, but of power. They speak more eloquently than 10,000 tongues. A choir of tears sings of you forever. Is this talking about the loss of Bray Wyatt? The text under purpose, I believe, is talking about Bo Dallas's goals and what he wants to actually achieve himself. Hex.I, talking about someone searching for a friend. She found none. Notice she is not capitalized here, though. Most certainly a reference to Nikki Cross. Again, all these things just really start to fall in place, don't they? Truncheon.ii, this one brings me joy. he already knows the way. This is where it gets interesting, because to me, that says Dexter Lumis. Obviously, he was part of the way, pretty much, with Gargano, Indy, etc. Pray.III, I think, is Eric Rowan again, it's referencing. Then we got Spark.IV4, which is, this one was abandoned, left for dead. I think this is Joe Gacy. Family is where it gets super interesting, because this seems to say that they are finally actually together. It says, we are whole, we have become complete. We can't wait to show you how beautiful we have become. We then got a few more links. So I told you there's a lot. And obviously this one seems to be talking about us, perhaps. The final one, super interesting. Take the last bit. Let us savor this. And we will show you signs and wonders. You can just imagine the next line being, and all you have to do is let me in, can't you? So the major talking point is the idea that this QR code has given us names for the people in the group. Now, obviously the one we're certain of here is Nikki Cross being Hex. Now, obviously I like the idea of Nikki remaining Nikki Cross, but Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, refers to her as Hex. It kind of goes along with the whole cult vibe that we kind of feel like they're going for here. Obviously the other names, you can interpret to who you want it to be. So obviously let me know in the comment section down below which names you attribute to which superstar that you think's joining Uncle Howdy. That could leave Alexa Bliss to simply be her, maybe the female equivalent of The Fiend, and obviously coming in maybe at a later date, joining the group potentially in a co-leadership role along with Bo Dallas. They did play the Nightbird song with all the glitches. Now, a few people thought they wouldn't do this in Saudi, but just listen. They're just wrestling fans over there, and they love this stuff too. I've been tagged in this a lot and want to put this out here to clarify this. There was a bird, obviously outside the WWE experience in Saudi. A lot of people wondering, hoping this could be related to Nightbird. Unfortunately, no. People have gone back and found that the bird has been there absolutely years. While they could tie it in for sure, it's not like WWE's put it there for the Nightbird campaign. There's also this picture of all the WWE superstars at the beach, and you can see the circle on the right. Obviously, the tattoos, people think it's Dexter Lumis, but guys, it is, of course, Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett is there because Smackdown emanates from Saudi Arabia. Normally, Wade doesn't go on these trips, but obviously he's there for SmackDown. And last night we confirmed that Joe Gacy is also not in Saudi Arabia. Joe Gacy was live on Twitch, so it's impossible now. Could he get there in time? Yes. Would he likely go now? Probably not. Does that change how you feel about King or Queen of the Ring being the debut date for this faction? It's more than possible you get Howdy or Bo or just one person, but I think this date, the something of June, which we believe to be the 17th of June, the Raw after Clash at the Castle, looks like the most likely date now. You may notice this obviously is slightly different. It's not the Pluto logo, which most of them are, and shout out to Slam, who'd found out it's actually a GIF titled Anu and can be found next to the family entry. One thing to stress is at the bottom of every webpage, it says all entries are sorted chronologically 2008 to 2024. What that means is the first post, Why Didn't I Trust Him, has to be written in 2008. And then the final post besides is 2024. This is something to really bear in mind as you deep dive into this, because it's very easy to go, okay, she is a reference to Alexa Bliss. But then you have to question who wrote the notes in the first place. Was this Bo Dallas always planning something behind the scenes? Or were the original diaries like Bray Wyatts and he's just adding to them? If so, this is what Bray thought of Alexa, not what Bo thought. This makes it really difficult because without each one being individually dated, Owari, the end, we said might be about Bray. Well, what if Bray was talking about Luke Harper? It's very difficult to distinguish between what we think it might be now to what it meant actually then. So until we actually get those answers, it's very difficult. Now, tonight's SmackDown did emanate from Saudi Arabia, the same place that King and Queen of the Ring will be. It was live for, I think, most of the world, except for the United States and Canada. So for that reason, I didn't really want to post spoilers. I want you guys to watch the show. It's the best part of wrestling, you know? So I'm really sorry if you want like the full show review. That's not going to happen on these kind of shows. But obviously the QR code stuff is stuff that you can actually go and do right now. It's not time limited. Do you know what I mean? So we kind of cover that instead. Hopefully we'll be back to normal obviously tomorrow for King and Queen of the Ring. Things you might have missed right here. So if you are new to the channel, make sure you've hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the upload. For this week's SmackDown, I give it a very solid 7.5 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. See you next time. Peace!